Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Mad Stacker here with another LEGO set review. This one's going to be a little bit different. Why? Because you can't see me. Because this set is so big that I can't be on screen next to it. It is 70165. This is the Ultra Agents mission headquarters. It is a giant, crazy Ultra Agents truck. I don't usually review sets this big, mainly because they're this big and they're really difficult, but this set is just so cool. It's so much fun. It's got so much awesome stuff in it. I really wanted to do a review of it. This was released this year, obviously. It's from the Ultra Agents line. Let me just pull it into view so you can see it. Released this year, 1,060 pieces. It is a very large set. Retails for $99.99. I got it, thankfully, with a couple of discounts from Toys R Us. It is really crazy. It's going to be really hard to review the whole thing all at once because it's so big. But I'm going to do the cab first, move on to the back, and then all the other stuff. So that means the first thing I have to show you is, as you can see right now, the entire truck is connected. It can be very easily disconnected, which is awesome, via this little lever right here. You can just, as it's moving even, boop, and then the cab pulls away, and it's got this nice little prop on it so it can just stand right up really well. You do kind of have to hold the back of it if you want to get them to reconnect, otherwise it just sort of shoves the trailer back. But we will pull the trailer out of view, disconnect it like we just showed you, and here is the truck cab. The truck cab is, I mean, it's also huge. You do kind of have to watch out for these levers because they fire these missiles in the front, but turn it around so you can see the front of it. It is super awesome, incredibly detailed, just all the stuff on the front here. These crazy giant engines. I mean, it's got the Tron wheels like any good Ultra Agent set does. The top opens really well, and there's the first minifigure in there, who I believe his name is Agent Solomon Blaze, which is funny because I'm pretty sure that's the same name as one of the Galaxy Squad guys. Which means, is he supposed to be the same person? Are they related? What's up? He does clearly have a cybernetic leg, which is cool. It seems like almost all of the Ultra Agents have sort of cybernetic parts, and this guy's a little bit older. Maybe his leg isn't so great, so he got a cybernetic leg. He does have two head prints. This one, which is very serious, and this one, which is slightly more smirking. And he is, I mean, he is pictured as being the truck driver, as driving the truck. Like I said, there are two of the new Spring-Fire missiles. They're right there in the front, which is cool because they just sort of look like headlights. And they're fired via these levers on the sides. You just pull the lever up and pew! I am not going to shoot them off. I don't ever shoot them off because you know what they look like when they shoot off. So just, you know, picture it flying out the front. Last but not least is this little thing on the back here, which is connected by this Technic pin, and this is just sort of a little miniature flying thing. You can put a minifigure in there and he can fly around and scout stuff. I mean, this is no great shakes. Of course, this isn't the reason I bought the set, but it is cool. It is a nice little addition, and of course made even better by the fact that it just sort of connects onto the back of the truck, and then it's very unobtrusive when you do that. So I'm actually going to use the truck cab to pull the trailer back towards me, and I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to move this even farther back because of how big it is. Now, one of the problems with this set is unfolding the trailer. It's really big, and it's got a lot of stuff to it. You can see up there the antenna that moves and spins and moves around, so I don't need to show you that. It's not that important. But unfolding it, the whole trailer, building the trailer was a little bit irritating because I'm not going to flip it around because that would be too difficult, but both sides of the trailer are literally the exact same build, and it's about half an instruction book. So you go through the whole thing and you build the whole wall, and then it just says 2x at the end. So that's really irritating. But also, it is held together by two Technic axles, which are right here at the top. You'll see them when I open it. And they hold it together very well, which is cool. but they do make it a little difficult to open. So I usually try to open one of the sides and then just sort of pull it. Now, of course, pieces are falling off. There we go. There we go. Okay. It doesn't look like anything that bad happened. No. Okay, so let me see what this is like. Wow, even if I open these, there's another piece that fell off. That's behind there. I'll get it later. So there is the whole truck. It is huge, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff. It comes with one of these little stud cannons. Let's just, again, we'll try to go left to right. There is a little sort of demonstration area up here. You can see the sticker on this trans panel that it's sort of, you know, the mission headquarters. These little chairs slide out there, make it sort of a miniature briefing room. This is really neat. The laptop that it came with, that just flew out of my hands, even has a little sticker on it, like, who is this person? And the camera's not going to focus in on it very well, but it is sort of a hooded figure. And I know they've shown that we are getting more Ultra Agents next year, so is it possible that this is the, you know, the ultimate Ultra Agents villain? I suppose only time will tell. We'll still have to see. But that's really neat. It sort of fits in this little, you know, data analysis pod on the side here. And it just slides right in there. Here is one of the other minifigures included with this set. I've been assured that her name is Professor Christina Hydron, which is thoroughly ridiculous. But she's cool. I mean, she's not really dressed much like the other Ultra Agencies. She's very clearly, you know, she's sort of the scientist. She's the Dr. Beverly Crusher of the Ultra Agents. But she's got a lab coat on, and she's got, you know, she definitely has Ultra Agents level clearance on this little badge on the front of her. But she also has two printed heads. She has this one that's very serious and sciencey with the goggles. And she has, again, a more jaunty sort of with the goggles up. So you can see what that looks like with the hair, because her hair is pretty crazy. But there you go. And she just looks very, you know, sort of jovial. So that's fun. This thing over here, this is another one that I don't feel works as well as it should, really. But this little assembly here is supposed to pop that out, and then it just sort of rolls off. And this is another one of the included mini builds with the set, which is just this sort of dune buggy thing. I'm going to take this guy off, and then I'll show him to you when I'm done. It's just a little dune buggy, and I mean, it has flick missiles, which I'm never a huge fan of, but they flick fairly well, I guess, when you flick them. I don't know, but that's fun. I mean, it's not my favorite. Again, that's not the reason I bought the set, but it is cool that it's included. It does come with this little area, which I always thought of as sort of like a target range, since it has room for another stud cannon, and it has one of these stud cannons in here. Excuse me for 1 second. Woo! I'm getting over some allergies, so that's why my voice also sounds kind of funny. But this is another really fun addition to the set. This is sort of the science cell, the techno cell that they hold the bad guy in. And it's got stickers on the side that's all, you know, very sort of DNA analysis, Cosby, all that stuff. And the door spins around so that you can put the guy in the cell. I mean, again, not the reason I got this set, but I do, with all the trans light blue on it, I do think it looks really cool, and it looks very, very sciencey. And that removes from this little grid plate over here fairly well and just goes back down on it. There's another sort of little science area over here. Let me try to reposition the camera better so you can see it. This is sort of a very high-tech computer screen, and there's a cool little mini build that's a microscope over here, and I think that's really fun. Right over next to it is a little robot arm that comes out, and it sort of does all this stuff and is very poseable, and is a robot arm. The robot arm is supposed to go with the last Ultra Agent minifigure that comes with this set, who is this one. I believe her name is Agent Phoenix, and she's cool. I really like her techno implant in that she has this little visor that can come across her eyes. Her double head print, it's still, she doesn't have the visor on, but you can still see I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, but you can see on the sides of her head sort of where the visor comes out. And she has this neat little jetpack build, which goes on her, and she has the second stud cannon for the front down here. And the robot arm just sort of grabs the jetpack and, you know, can sort of move her around. But that's fun. I think the robot arm is a really neat, just a really neat little addition to this set. And it folds up nice, and it goes right there. There's a whole, like, weapon rack over here that's really neat. It has two of these Galaxy Squad style hand cannons, except those are white, which I think is neat. It also has a set of binoculars in there. Let me take this out so you can see them better. Yeah, there's a little set of, you know, techno binoculars in there, and then there's, you know, a little walkie-talkie, which is always handy. Last up here is, that again, you can see the little computer area over there, which is where I always put the little scientist doctor woman, but it has this neat little printed slope. It's got another computer thing, another keyboard on there. So that is the truck. I just remembered, I forgot to show you this other minifigure. This was the guy driving the little dune buggy. He's cool. I forget what his name is. His name is something ridiculous, like James Action or something like that. Curtis Bolt. Okay, that's a good one. And he, as far as I know, he's the only Ultra Agent that doesn't have hair. Every version of him is him with this crazy helmet on. But he has two head prints. Also, he also has this crazy power spine on the back of him. He has a scouter. He definitely has a scouter that will tell you about anybody's power level. So, that is the whole truck. It is crazy, it is huge, it's got so much stuff in it. But wait, because the enemy that the Ultra Agents are facing in this set, the enemies from all the Ultra Agent set, I think are pretty cool. I really like Tremor from the Tremor Track Infiltration. I did the review of the Inferno Interception in which I talked about how cool I thought Inferno was. But you really can't beat the one that also comes with a giant robot. This guy is called Terabyte, and he is very nerdy, techno-oriented, but he comes with this really cool robot. He's really poseable. I mean, the legs are all on ball and sockets, the arms are all ball and sockets. His one arm is the cool trans-green Zammer Sphere launcher, which is fun. I mean, they work sometimes, most of the time. His other arm is this really awesome spinning claw, which of course has little posable spider fingers, which is fun. Just the look of this figure, the gray and the trans green, I think is really cool. He has a little bit of sticker detail on the back and a little bit of sticker detail on the legs. Even this little thing on the back here, his little sort of jetpack, is removable. And it's just a weird little, you know, mosquito drone sort of thing that's powered by binocular rockets and has little lights on it. Even this thing, I think, is just a neat little addition, just something that they didn't really have to add, and then they did. But let me give you a better view of Terabyte here, because he is really awesome. I mean, his head, I wish you could see his head print a little bit better. It's like 8-bit angry eyes, which is really fun. He has like a Space Invader on his shirt. It looks like he's wearing a sort of Tron leather jacket. The back of his jacket says "Bad to the Code," because he is a huge nerd. And even his gun, I think, is really cool, because it has a keyboard on the side of it, and then the rest of it is all trans green and gray. I think the best thing about this set overall, I mean, let me just kind of bring you back the whole thing here. You can see all the stuff that it includes. You can see the cab, and then this minifigure, and this minifigure, and the little truck, and the professor, and the old guy, and the jail cell, and everything. I mean, just the fact that this set comes with so much stuff should be enough to make you want it. I mean, the only really irritating part about the build was the truck walls. Which, yeah, they're a pretty significant part of it, but you gotta do what you gotta do to have a giant truck. So, really the best thing I think about this set is, I said this a couple times to several different people, but I feel like this set almost defines playability. It just has so much cool stuff included in it. And even, I mean, after I built it, I literally sat here on the living room floor and made up a little story with Terabyte and all the other people, and then the Ultra Agents had to solve everything, and it was just fun, because that's what Lego is supposed to be. The themes all tie in together really well, but this one, it just has so much stuff, and it has so much of a sort of complete story to it, that I think this is probably one of the coolest sets that I've built in a while, and I'm really, really glad I got this. No minifig of the day, really, for this one. I did just want to quickly revisit my Ultra Agents robot dog, which, of course, when I was playing with this set, he was here too, because he's awesome, and I'm really glad I built him. You can go back and watch several of my other reviews where I talk about him, but I just wanted to talk about him again because I really like him. So, that was 70165, the Ultra Agents Mission HQ. I can't zoom out enough to show you the whole thing because of how big it is, but it is huge, it is awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed reviewing it, and above all, keep stacking.